So on May 31st, 2019, I got to see Detective Pikachu, and it was, cute. It was cute. That's really the shortest definition I could give it. It's cute. I think what a lot of critics overestimated about this movie is the simple fact that even though this is a live-action movie, it is still, in fact, a Pokemon movie, which is from a company that is known for animation in video games and not live-action movies. And I wouldn't necessarily jump to consider myself a Pokemon fan. I mean, I watched a few of the movies when I was a kid, I never watched the show, I think I only played Ever Blue and Y, but I think it's fairly safe to say because of the pop culture nature around it that everyone is familiar and at least somewhat likes some aspect of Pokemon. And who says you can't look cute in a Pokemon couple's outfit? Or really hot in some cases. So when I went to see this movie, I think it's safe to say that I pretty much got what I expected. I mean, that's not to say the movie doesn't have its issues, so let's talk about that real quick. There's only one really harsh criticism that I have about this movie, and that comes in terms of the acting. Aside from the Canadian gem himself, Ryan Reynolds, the acting in this movie is very hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh? But that's kind of the track record for a lot of Pokemon movies. I mean, they're not necessarily known for their acting skills. So I wasn't really too surprised by the fact that this movie's acting was you got a boyfriend, I bet he doesn't kiss ya. Dead memes! Get your barely decomposed dead memes here, ladies and gentlemen! And there were a couple of continuity errors that kind of bugged me a little bit, like the scene involving the Torterras, and then after that scene, the Torterras just kind of disappear. But other than that, I really don't have too much of a complaint. It's a family-friendly Pokemon movie. I mean, what else did you expect? And I'm not gonna act like this movie didn't have some interesting concepts, because the liberties that it takes and the surprises that it has up its sleeve did kind of catch me off guard. I like the incorporation of small little facts that Pokemon fans can catch on to. I really like the reincorporation of Ditto. And for CG, there are a lot of interesting concepts for these Pokemon that I wasn't quite expecting. I never once considered a Snubbull to have fur, or even Pikachu for that matter. And even though we haven't quite necessarily gotten out of that uncanny valley era of movement when it comes to CGI and real-life things, I gotta say, texture's starting to look pretty good for a lot of things. And I will give this movie full props for using textures properly and still keeping the initial designs of a lot of these Pokemon intact, especially after seeing the character reveals for Lion King and remembering how terrifying a warthog actually is in real life. It's nice to know that some companies still understand that just because you're going for realistic doesn't mean you have to sacrifice character design. Is that in an effort to sell toys? Maybe, but that's not gonna stop me from admiring how cute Pikachu is and how awesome that Charizard looked. Overall, aside a few small issues here and there, I thought this movie was very entertaining, and I would not mind seeing this again at some point. I strongly recommend it if you're a Pokemon fan, and if you're wanting to put your kid in front of something for an hour and a half to keep them quiet, I definitely recommend this. Keeps them from seeing that Aladdin remake at least. And I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching, goodbye.